Hello, everyone. So my name is Greg Memmott, and I am going to be presenting on an older adult interview that I did. So let me pull that up real fast. Presentation. So the older individuals that I decided to interview was my grandparents. Initially, it was just going to be one of them, but when it came time to interview, they both wanted to be involved. So I included both of their responses on the report. And it was also kind of interesting to get to see both of their perspectives, just because of their kind of unique medical experiences that they've had. So just kind of a summary of the interview. Overall, they have been very, very happy with their healthcare. They feel like the doctors they've been with have been courteous and very helpful in getting them the right care. They especially have a lot of good doctors in California that they feel like help them a lot. They explain their medical journey. So my grandma has rheumatoid arthritis, which is a genetic condition that basically destroys your joints over time. So, and at the beginning of that, arthritis medication was not the way that it was today. So they very slowly had to progress through this and try and overcome a lot of these obstacles. And one thing that I thought was interesting in their interview, they touched on talking about the difficult things they'd been through, and they both lived through World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War. But they were very grateful for all those experiences. My grandpa served in the military, and he said that it was a great opportunity and actually helped him grow a lot instead of being the difficult experience that I thought it would be. So another highlight of their interview is that they did go through a lot of different doctors coming to Utah. I think they ended up going through 3 or 4 primary care physicians before they found one that they liked or that would actually stay around before moving somewhere else or retiring. And another pretty consistent thing was just the very high level of pain that they both feel on a daily basis, just from their joints hurting or from overuse injuries, things like that. My grandpa shared an experience where he had been going through some old family slides, and he had done hundreds of these, just pulling them out, looking at them, seeing which pictures he wanted to keep, which ones he wanted to leave. And for the next 2 weeks, his wrist was very incredibly swollen to the point that he thought he needed to get an x-ray and get it checked out. And the doctor just had him put ice on it and brace it and things like that. But it took about 2 weeks before that very minor injury actually went down. So some reflection, things that I found interesting was that overall they were pretty happy with the way things have been, even though I feel like they haven't had an easy life when it comes to healthcare. Like we talked about just barely, they have a lot of pain that they feel on a consistent basis. I feel like for me would be a very detrimental thing to have. Another thing that they talked about was just how interesting it has been to live through medicine as it's growing up. So with joint replacements, with my grandpa getting to do a lot of the things that he loved later in life because he could get those joint replacements, and with my grandma finally getting treatment that worked for her arthritis. I also thought it was interesting that they focused a lot on the medicinal side of things and the procedural, the medicine, instead of the public health aspect, like the lifestyle changes. And my grandpa actually talked about how it wasn't until recently that a nephrologist, a kidney doctor, actually talked to him about changing his lifestyle. So a lot of this interview was not quite what I was expecting. I expected a little bit more resentment, I guess, at the healthcare system for all of the problems that they've had, as well as just difficulty getting through everything. But overall, they've been very happy with the way that they were treated, and they don't feel like they've ever been discriminated against, but could understand that other people have felt that way as well. So overall, a really great experience. It didn't quite come up with this stuff that I thought it would, but it was a great chance to talk to them and just kind of see how they felt about their health and how they're feeling now. COVID also was a very big detriment, but they're grateful that they're able to learn and adapt a little bit with virtual communication and stay in touch socially with people. But I think that's about it. Thanks, guys.